Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a Phillips pan head screw. And the reason I'm doing this video is because if you're following my Fallout Holotape tutorial series, I've just been editing part 4 I think, and I've realised that where I've made a screw there, it wasn't quite to the quality that I expected, and it was a little bit of faffing around. So I decided to record this video just focusing on the Phillips screw head. Now, in fairness, I have actually made several different types of screws in the past. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, such as the retro ray gun, Helldivers Thermite Grenade, or the cute robot vehicle videos, you would have seen me creating different types of screws there, but not necessarily a Phillips screw head type. At least not as good as this one anyway. So this is what this video is going to address. I'm using Blender 4.3.2, excuse me, yeah, 4.3.2 for the modeling. So let's crack on. So now I'm going to add a plane. I'm going to use my add-on for this, but to do that, Shift A, Mesh, Plane. And once we have that plane there, tab into Edit Mode, right click and do Subdivide. And in the lower right corner there, lower right, lower left corner, increase that to 2 cuts. And now you have this kind of 3x3 grid. So select each corner face. Oh, I'm holding down the wrong keys there. Hold it down Shift. Select all of the corner faces and press Delete faces. Now you're left with this little cross shape. So, and the reason I'm doing that is so that I'm working inside out basically. So starting from the actual hole, working our way outwards. Okay, and I found this is an easier way to do it, because I spent quite a lot of minutes trying to figure this out from the other way around, and it didn't quite work out the way I'd liked. So I thought, well, let's do it the other way. Right, let's tab into, still in face mode. Let's select all of these faces. Now you want to press delete, but don't delete just faces, okay? Or faces here. You want to select only faces. Very important, otherwise you lose everything. So essentially we deleted everything apart from these edges. So we've got these edges here, and that's all. There's no geometry there. So let's select each of these internal edges there by holding down Shift, and then delete those edges. Now we end up with an outline of a cross. If I tab into top view again, on 7 on the numpad, and what I'm going to do now is go to vertex selection. So I'm going to select all of the vertices by pressing A. In fact, no, don't select all of them. Just select the ones on the outside at first. So hold down Shift and click and drag. And with those selected, I'm going to bevel these with Control Shift and B. And then just move your mouse out, scroll the mouse wheel. I'm going to go with 3 segments on those. And I want a fairly tight corner on these. So I'm going to select that kind of size, I guess. And in the operator panel in the bottom left, if you can't see that, just open it up. I'm going to change the shape to, let's change it to 1. So we get this kind of, we keep the corners essentially. Okay, done that. Now let's drag a box and select the ones inside the center of the cross. And again, Control Shift and B to bevel these. And this time we're going to give them a much larger radius, somewhere around there. And in this case, I'm going to change that back to 0.5. So we do get a bit of roundedness going on. Maybe bring this down a touch, like that. So you can see the shape we've got there. Pretty simple shape. Right, let's click up the top left then there and go to Edge Select Mode. Go back to the top view. And I'm going to hold down the Alt key and click the edge, one of the edges, and that will select the edge loop. And with that selected, I'm going to press the F key. And the F is going to fill that with a large n-gon. Let's switch over to face mode and go back to top view again. And with that face selected, you can just select it like that and press the I key to inset it. Something like that is fine. And let's do that again. Press I to inset. One more inset about there. I think that will do. switch over to edge selection mode and hold down Alt, click the outer edge loop, and I'm going to do E to extrude and then S for scale. In fact, I'm going to right click there. So we've extruded it, and I want to press Alt S, not S, and that'll just bring it out in a nicer way, hopefully. And click in the operator panel again, offset even, and that's made no difference whatsoever. Yay! It doesn't really matter at this point, to be honest. As long as you extrude and scale it out, that's all you need to do, really. And the reason for that is because now I'm going to use loop tools to make that into a circle. So right click, loop tools, and select circle. And now we have our circle there, and it looks okay. Let's press S for scale, bring that out just a touch. In fact, maybe a bit more, because looking at our reference here, it's a fairly decent gap there between the hole and the outer edge of the head there. So it's about there, something like that. Okay. With that done, let's select, oops, I'm going to hold down Control and R, press Control R, add a loop cut, and click in the, move your mouse here, add a loop cut there, right click to leave it in the middle. And still in edge select mode, I'm going to alt click the outer one and move these down. Select the move tool and just move these down to give it a bit of curvature. Maybe too aggressive. Let's probably try something like that. And it's alt shift and click this one as well. Back to our front view with the one on the numpad and bring that down a little bit more so we get a bit of a curvature like that. Okay, now let's select the outer edge loop only, press E to extrude, and then Z and move that down, something like that. And then E to extrude again, S for scale, and bring that in, something like that. And now we switch to face select, select this face at the top in the middle, and press E to extrude and bring it down, something like that. So let me just check my reference image. I mean, that would do. I mean, I'll leave it about there, I think. Now, you're probably tempted to scale that down, which you can do. Essentially, you can scale it in like that. That's where you get that pointy bit right. In fact, we can do that, I guess. But obviously, that's not shallow. It's too shallow, the angle. So I'm going to go to the front view, one on the numpad, switch to wireframe mode. And I want to move these down. That defines the depth of our pointy bit of the screwdriver, right? It goes in there. So maybe make that a little bit smaller. Something like that. Let's go back to solid mode. And that's fine. Looking at the top part here, we've got this nice kind of inset support loops going around the top. So I'm going to add another one with Control R, just clicking in here and moving that up to the top. And bring it about there. I don't think I needed 2 edge loops here, but it doesn't hurt to have them. You can always delete it by selecting it like that and doing Control Delete if you don't want that one there as well. But I'll leave it in for now. Can always delete it later on. So basically, let me just show you what happens if we right click in object mode now, shade smooth, and it looks pretty bad, of course, because it's low poly. But I'm going to add a subdivision modifier. Again, I'm going to quickly use my add-on to do that. But to do that, head over to modifiers, just there, and click add modifier, generate subdiv. Now I'm going to use 2 levels of subdivision. This is not a perfect result, as you can see. And that's fine, I guess, for now. And the reason I think is because this edge loop I put in earlier isn't really round. It kind of goes inwards there. So I maybe should have made that round as well. So let's do that, make it circle. And that will then give that a bit more of a robust, I guess, circle. Let's make that circle a bit larger, bring it out a bit, and maybe bring it down just a touch. Now we are getting a kind of almost a pinchy type thing going on there. You can see it's kind of sharper here than it is elsewhere. So maybe let's remove this edge loop here. So select that, Control Delete. and that's helped a little bit, hasn't it? But the inside it looks terrible, as does the bottom part. So let's just quickly fix that by adding a loop cut down here to hold this corner a little bit more. And I'm going to make this one a little bit larger, so you get a much tighter corner down there. Right. Now what I'm going to do is fix the bottom part. You can see it's completely collapsed in on itself. So let's turn off the subdiv modifier and add some loop cuts in here. So I'm going to select the face down at the bottom there, press the period key on the numpad so I can bring it into focus. And all I'm going to do here is press I to inset. You can't go too far on this because it starts to overlap, as you can see. Let's give that a bit of an inset. It's quite tight in there, but hey, it is what it is. And Control R, let's add a loop cut down the length of that, just near the bottom as well. I'm going to leave that with a larger gap than it is at the bottom, just so that it kind of stretches out a bit more there. In fact, I might press G twice to slide it up a little bit more. Something like that. I reckon that would do. So the next thing I want to do is fix this large end-on in the middle. So I'm going to switch to vertex mode. And now it's just a case of going and selecting a couple of vertices, like these ones there, and pressing the J key to join them. So I'm going to quickly do that all around this end-on. Like that. We can also do that here as well. In fact, we can select this one, and that one, and it should, yeah, there we go. That just leaves the ones in the corner now. These are quite easy. We can select that one and that one on the opposing side and press J, and then do the same this way. And that should be enough edge loops there now. So we turn this back on, you can see it's held that shape quite nicely. And it does bother me a little bit. We have this kind of flat inner area. You can see there it bows inwards, which is a bit annoying. You can actually fix that if you wanted to. You don't have to. It's up to you. But what you probably can do is select. I'm going to press the C key for the selection brush. You can scroll the mouse wheel to change the size of the selection. So I'm just going to paint and select these. Right click to continue, or to break out of that selection brush. And I'm going to just maneuver around here. Press C again and add to my collection. Select these here. Let's turn off the subdiv modifier and continue doing that all around. Do you select all of these in the corner? Let's bring that a bit closer. Okay, we've got all of the corner ones selected, and essentially you just want to move these down because you can see they're quite high up, or you can bring these up, either or. In fact, you might want to bring the other ones up rather than these ones down. So maybe we can add to the selection, holding down Alt-Shift, select these as well, the ring going outside. Let's just move these down until we get a bit more of a flat profile there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that kind of works fairly well. Let's just turn off the grid for a moment. You can see things a bit better. And yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, we didn't check our normals. And I was wondering why they looked a bit weird. Yeah, the shading's a bit weird. So, and the reason for that is because the normals are inside out. So you can see they're red. And I've got that on my add-on there. But if you head over to this menu, you can turn on face orientation just there. So with that turned on, I'm going to tab into edit mode, switch to face select and press the A key until I select everything and recalculate normals. I'm going to use my add-on for that. However, you can press Alt-N, bring up the normals menu and select recalculate outside. And the shortcut for that is Shift-N. And that's turned blue. And that's great. So let's go back to object mode. And It still looks a bit weird down here. Let's have a quick look and see. Oh, yeah, you can see it's a bit weird there. Maybe I've missed something. Let's turn off the subdiv modifier. Oh yeah, I've totally messed that up. I probably had a selection there. When I moved these down, I think I moved them as well. So let me just fix that. And there you go. Sorry about that, my bad, I didn't notice that. So anyway, I'm going to use that for my, well, I'm not going to use it for my Fallout Holotape because I've already recorded that, of course. But yeah, I'm going to cut that out of that video and mention that you can watch this video if you want to make a Phillips Pan screw head. Maybe get rid of this bow effect just in there a little bit more by adding another edge loop with Control R in here. And if I right click and leave it in the middle, you could select these points in the middle just there. Turn on proportional editing and then make sure connected only is turned on. And if we just click and move these upwards, you can see our radius of influence is quite large. You can scroll the mouse wheel to bring that down a touch. We can just move these up. Something like that. Just a little bit, I guess. Go back to object mode. And that's helped to bring that out just a little bit more. But wait, there's more before you go. And this is bugging me now because this shouldn't be. So the topology here goes up and down. I don't like that. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to alt click in edge mode, select this edge loop that's just there. And you can see it's kind of got different heights all over the place. So all I'm going to do is press S for scale, Z, 0 and enter to flatten it completely. And you can see there, now it's completely flat, which is fair enough. And tab back into object mode, and that works probably a little bit better. Oops. Oh, let's go back into edit mode. And I think the reason why I'm having that issue is because I've moved these up a bit too high, or they're modeled a bit too high up. So let's turn off our subdiv modifier. And I'm going to select. Let's just select all these pointy edges just there. So just the two will do. Like that. That should be okay. Let's turn on proportional editing again. Got connected only on smooth. Let's see what happens if we bring this down. And I may as well turn on the subdiv modifier, but this time let's turn on the cage so you can see what our result looks like. So if I bring it to an angle there, maybe somewhere around there, and move this down, decrease the size of the proportional editing. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, you could probably dabble with this all day long and also do things like space these out a bit nicer as well. So you could select all of these edges, vertices, just these ones here, and do right click, loop tools and space. And that would just move them out a little bit nicer rather than getting this kind of pinching you get there. So I'm going to do that on all of these here. And the same on this side. This is very much trial and error. Just do whatever you think looks good. As long as the result looks alright, then good to go. That looks fine without the subdiv modifier. Let's turn that on. I'm still getting a slight pinch in that corner, but nothing to worry about. So maybe I'm just being a bit too fussy. Right, I'll leave it there. I think we're going to go with that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my stuff, thumbs up, you know what to do. Like and subscribe would be fantastic. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.